Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Division Z podcast. My name is Jason.
And I'm Kid Cosmic.
Today, my friend, Forsaken is finally out. And we have all the goodness of Season 6 to experience and to sink our teeth into.
It's pretty good. It's all things considered. It's not bad. The Sister Star thoughts on it. It's not bad at all. It's really good. A great way to end off on the story. Overall, just a banger. And I mean, we played for the Easter egg. And okay, first of all, let's leave the good stuff till the end. Let's leave the cutscene and that till the end because that's the main thing, right?
We'll talk about that later.
Let's just talk about the whole map and that in general. Well,
absolutely,
going into Forsaken, what were you thinking?
So going into Forsaken, I really didn't know what to think just because after watching that Treyarch Studio broadcast, they were talking about all these different things incorporated into the map, like the different teleporters in different areas. So right away, I kind of knew that this map was going to be kind of different where you have to kind of teleport to all the different areas instead of it all being connected in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, they are all connected technically, but they're not like...
can't kind of. Well, Spawn's not really.
Yeah,
but the rest is.
But like Spawn can be connected to the Overwatch Tower or whatever it's called through the portal and things like that. But it's not connected in the sense of it all is in the same play space. You can teleport back and forth to each area, and I think that's really interesting. Seeing gameplay of the Crystal Axe, I thought it was going to be a really great wonder weapon, and it is. The Crystal Axe is one of the greatest wonder weapons in the game, I think, right next to the Cerberus. And the Easter egg is fun. It's short and simple, which, I've seen a lot of people not really like the fact that it's short and simple. But I like it because this is the finale.
I think it gets to the point.
And exactly, it gets to the point.
Because here's the thing, right? Here's the thing with Easter eggs, right? I think there's a good balance, but even like an Easter egg like Horizon Draka, the Easter egg isn't that long.
Yeah,
it's really not. There's a few steps and that's it. You're in boss fight, and I think people kind of forget about that. That Horizon Draka has one of the best Easter eggs in Zombies, but it doesn't take too long to actually complete it.
I mean, it definitely has more steps than Forsaken, but at the same time, it really doesn't take you that long to do Horizon Drak.
In the sense that when you're speedrunning it, it can be done in, I think, fastest time solo is 30 minutes, I think. 20
something like that. I don't know.
Something like that. And Forsaken seems to be a bit quicker.
Forsaken, I just saw before we started the podcast, has been brought down to 16 minutes.
Fucking hell.
16 minutes. Like, that's crazy. I mean, you gotta be on top of everything. I mean, hey, I applaud those who can complete it in 16 minutes, man. I get frustrated at the shooting the floating orbs step. They're always whizzing around all over the place. I'm waving my gun around in the air. How am I supposed to shoot these things?
The thing with Easter eggs is when you go into them, especially for me, I want to do them because I enjoy the gameplay factor of it. I enjoy getting rewarded for a cutscene, a perkaholic, whatever that game has to kind of offer.
Yeah.
But I go into these, and when you don't know them off by heart, you have to look up a guide, obviously. Right. And I find there's a lot of frustration with a lot of them. Cold War has been a little bit easier. Don't get me wrong, it's been a little bit easier in terms of Easter eggs. But even going back to the older ones, like Black Ops 4 and maybe some of Black Ops 3's Easter eggs as well, to be honest, is I thought they were long to the point that some ways they're a little bit tedious unless you're playing with friends and all that.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, they are fun. They are fun, but it's something you do once and you don't. Well, you can do it again, but unless you're shooting it or you're speedrunning it, there's not really much point. Sure, in Cold War you get rewarded with a little bit more XP and all that, but
right. See, that's the thing, man. Like with the longer and more tedious Easter eggs, that's how I kind of felt with Dead of the Night. Like I've only ever done the Dead of the Night Easter egg once, and it's like, all right, I don't need to do that again. But I'm satisfied with doing the Dead of the Night Easter egg only one time.
Yeah, you don't need to do it again. That's it, done. You have your little achievement for it. That's it, all done and dusted. You can never touch that map again.
Yeah. I mean, never play it ever again. Of course, right? Yeah. Because that's how that works.
Yeah, because that's how that works.
Yeah, totally. But I mean, man, Forsaken's Easter egg, very short. There's literally like 2 steps or like 3 steps to the Easter egg.
That's the thing, though. I was quite surprised because, like, when we got that first cutscene, because there's the kind of intro cutscene to it, then there's the middle cutscene, and then there's the last cutscene for it. There's quite a few cutscenes in the map as well, to be honest.
Yeah, man. The cutscenes are cool as hell, actually.
Yeah, as well. But with even the middle cutscene is like when we got to that point, it took us maybe like 40 minutes, but don't get it was the first time we played the map, obviously, right?
Yeah.
But to that point, it felt like we already reached kind of the end of the map. Because we knew what was happening and
Right.
all that at that point, and all the big secret big reveal.
And in a way, this is kind of what was, I don't know, to me this is kind of what is to be expected from something like this. I know that sounds kind of weird to say, but with all the intel that's in the game that's already given us a lot of storyline and a lot of information about what's going to be happening in Forsaken and the story and the future of the Dark Aether. It's just, it's kind of a quicker payoff for people who have read the intel. I think I said this on last week's episode of the podcast that this is going to be a good map for people who have read the intel. And this gets right straight to the point of, okay, the Forsaken is here, kill the Forsaken. Peck and Kravchenko do this thing over here. You do this thing over here. You all get arrested. Like it just kind of moves along quickly. Because there's so much intel to fill in the gaps in between.
Here's something good to compare it to, right? We get plenty of movies that hype up about, oh yeah, the movie's going to be 4 hours long. It's going to be 3 hours long.
Mm-hmm.
But then a good hour and a half of that movie doesn't need to be in it. It's all just kind of filler. Don't get me wrong. It's building on the world building, things like that, blah, 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 blah. But a lot of it could be taken down just to get to the point and give the players what they really want. And for an Easter egg, what they really want is, don't get me wrong, a challenge, but the main reward is a cutscene, and that's what people get excited about. Even if let's say you go off with zombies, or, first map comes out, Easter egg's done, then you don't play the game for like 2 months, right? For whatever reason, right? Another map comes out. If you don't even play it, you're going to be excited to see what happens in the story. I know for The Machine, Firebase Z, and then, not so much Marauder Totem, because I kind of knew it wouldn't be the biggest thing in the world because we'd still have DLC 4 to come. But then DLC 4, obviously, you're going to be a bit hyped for the cutscenes and that. And that's kind of like the main reward, I think, with Cold War and going forward is like the kind of story. And I feel like as well, with story and Cold War, I'm not so much interested in the intel, but I care a lot about what's going on in the cutscenes and the overall.
Yeah.
The overall.
I can understand that.
Like I don't need to know that Dr. Peck has free bollocks, for example. But wow. But I am very interested in the story regardless.
Wow, a Cosmic is leaking future intel. Wow.
Oh, I wasn't supposed to say that.
That's crazy.
I wasn't supposed to say that.
Hey, Dr. Peck is coming back.
Which is cool.
In something. We've already kind of tippy-toed around the ending cutscene, so we might as well just start talking about it, right?
Yeah, why not?
The ending cutscene, right? I think we all expected the director to be Richtofen.
The way he turns.
Yeah, dude, the turn. He looks so smug too. He looks so full of himself, and like his grand master plan is coming together, right?
He looks like he's planned this from the start of like World at War to this point here.
Maybe. Whatever Project Janus is. I don't know if there's any hints in the intel that tell us what Project Janus is because I haven't read it all yet.
Janus, yeah.
But like Project Janus is definitely something more than just, capture the Forsaken and disband Requiem and make sure Omega's taken care of and all that kind of stuff, right? There's definitely something more here. And if you notice too, a lot of people notice this, on Richtofen's desk in his office, there's the Samantha snow globe.
The globe. Yeah.
From Zombies Chronicles, the intro cutscene of that. So everyone's going, oh, okay, shit. This is all connected, of course. The ether isn't truly gone. And then, interestingly enough, too, Richtofen has a wife and a kid. If you look at the pictures on his desk, too. Like, I'm honestly interested to see who those people are. Because that to me, would give Richtofen a lot of character building and a lot of growth. A lot more.
Well, in a way, you have to remember. I imagine he'll have some traits. We don't even know if he speaks German, do we?
He probably does, let's be honest. He probably speaks German. He probably speaks English. Obviously, he speaks English in the intel.
He has his his accent there, probably, for whatever reason.
Also keep in mind, too, you could say, because Maxis in the intel, some intel that I read for season 6, she talked about an orphanage, right? So if Samantha and Eddie were adopted at a young age before they ever really developed a thick accent or anything like that, they could have developed different accents depending on where they live,
Yeah.
right? So Eddie goes to America, Maxis stays in Germany, so she has that German accent. So I guess there's that possibility too.
Mm. I wonder what he'll sound like going into the next game, because obviously he's going to be a main kind of story point of the next game when we get it.
Dude, if I'm being honest, I think he'll just sound like Nolan North just talking normally.
I think so as well. I think it'll just be his normal voice.
Yeah,
Maybe
straight up.
here's what I think as well, and here's what I think will happen next is we'll go into the next game, Black Ops 84, whatever it's
Black
gonna be
Ops
called.
84, right.
Black Ops 84, yeah, new leaked intel. And I think we'll get a point where Richtofen, we open up the Dark Aether for whatever reason. The spirit of old Richtofen comes and the German accent comes back. I would like to see something like that. And I want to think, right? I want to know as well, is like, does Richtofen know what happened completely in the Dark Aether? Or are they just kind of brush it? Or is there some sort of link there, even though there shouldn't be, if you get what I mean?
I mean, there has to be, right? Because, I mean, they have to know. Like, they have to know because they've seen it. They've seen everything happen right before their eyes. And I think they're just kind of hiding it for now because of what's going on with the world and what's going on with the Dark Aether coming back. There's more pressing issues right now than what happened in the past. I think that's a detail that's definitely not going to be overlooked, but for now it's just kind of on the back burner. And I think we'll see a little bit more of this explored maybe in Vanguard Zombies potentially. That would be really great.
Yeah, that's the time to start building kind of story for maybe these characters once they're younger. Because here's the thing as well. We'll probably see a lot of these characters in terms of story when they were kind of kids. You know?
For sure.
And that's what's so good about having one studio working on zombies. You can do whatever you want in the multiplayer, and then the campaign and all that, obviously. Obviously, it's still all connected anyway, but with zombies, with it being under one developer, one story, it just means we can constantly build this world. And to get to a point like we did in Black Ops 3, where it took over like 10 years because World at War break, Black Ops 1 break, Black Ops 2 break. You know, in terms of actual story, it'll take us 5 years because there's not a break. Unless Modern Warfare 2 does...
Potentially.
Modern Warfare 2, well, that got leaked out as well. Modern Warfare, the big leaks. The next,
whatever the next Call of Duty game is going to be called. People think it's going to be called Modern Warfare 2. I don't know. We'll see it, and we'll see it firsthand when it gets teased. But
it'll probably be Modern Warfare 2 because that will sell like crazy.
Probably, yeah.
Just because of the ties and all that it has.
I mean, the thing is too, yeah, with the storyline, it can progress a lot faster. And I think with a lot of people right now who don't like the Dark Aether storyline, I think the next couple games would give people the opportunity to actually have the story grow on them. You know, because I can understand people not liking it in this game. I totally understand that because it's not everything is kind of fleshed out 100% yet, but it's a new story, so not everything is going to be. Yeah. You know, the old characters aren't there, but you have some recurring characters, and people say it has no personality, and you know that's all opinion pieces, right? Like I get it. I get why people don't like it, but I think for the people who don't like it, perhaps Vanguard and future installments could maybe be a turning point for some of these people to be like, oh, well, this could be a good storyline because of XYZ. And of course, it all comes down to personal preference, so only time will tell. But the long story short, the point that I'm trying to make is I think the Dark Aether storyline can only get better from here.
Yeah, no, because I think it's a pretty solid story as it is already. But we got to remember that even with games like World at War and Black Ops 1, sure, there was a story there. But going from map to map, you don't really understand the progression of how these events are really happening in a lot of ways.
Right.
With Cold War, it's really setting itself up to be a solid, fluent story. There's no like random jumps from point A to point B and tying things in, and random links that they make later on. Cold War Zombies and the Dark Aether storyline is supposed to be Aether, but with a fresh take, while still being connected to the old storyline in a way, because then players can't be like, oh, this new story, I hate it, because it's not, it's a new story, or I would say even it's a new chapter of the same story.
That's the thing. It's Dark Aether. It is the Dark Aether storyline. There's still Ether in the name. Story.
Yeah, like they know what they're doing with it, and we have these characters coming back, and we even know by Richtofen being back as well. Like they clearly don't have really any big intentions to get rid of Aether completely, because they showing Richtofen in an ending cutscene. That is going to create instant hype.
Yeah.
So like it's They still understand the importance of our old characters and all the
Yeah.
old story stuff. So that's why it's getting introduced. Even things like the new boss type we had in Forsaken, resembling the Margwa a lot. Like
Right.
even little things like that, and even going into other maps as well, like Marauder Totem with the Panzer. They understand the significance of these older kind of
Right.
points in the story and old characters
And
and old
just
zombie types.
straight up, manglers are in the game.
Mangler,
Like
just manglers.
Garad Krovi manglers are in 3 different maps.
Mm.
So like there's definitely significance there.
Quick question, because I've seen this being a kind of strong point. I know we talked about the story and all the story stuff's good. What do you think of the boss types and the balancing for them?
Here's the thing, right? The boss types, they can be a bit overwhelming sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But the Crystal Axe I find is just really good at everything, so you can just swing your axe and then kill everything.
To die, yeah.
But like, yeah, I don't know. It can be overwhelming sometimes with some of the bosses on the map.
I think
know.
it could have
It's
done
weird.
without I don't think Plague Hounds needed to be there, if I'm being honest. But
Yeah.
that's a complaint I feel like we both kind of share the opinion on. That
Yeah, Plague Hounds are
don't
still my
really-
least favorite enemy in this game.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of it. What else? The Manglers are fine. I don't
Manglers
really
are fine. The Abomination is fine.
The Abomination, yeah, I don't think
Tempests are in the map too.
Mm.
They're okay. I mean,
they're
here's the
Tempests,
thing.
aren't they?
I don't mind there being multiple different enemy types. The problem arises when you have a situation like Black Ops 4 Voyage of Despair, when you have catalysts, like 50 of them on the map at the same time. Black Ops Cold War doesn't do that. You know, there can be like maybe 2 or 3 on the map at a time, like 2 Tempests and a Mangler, right? But I mean, that's kind of customary for this game. And I think the way that Black Ops Cold War Zombies plays out, it kind of allows for more enemy types to spawn in because you're going to have more firepower on your person because the wonder weapons are good in this game. Weapons in general are just good in this game because of the weapon rarity system. And you have really powerful field upgrades. So you have a lot more to kind of work with in theory, right? Because then you also have armor and you have whatever, right? So you can have more to go up against some of these special enemies. Whereas in Black Ops 4, I know you had your specialist weapon in Black Ops 4, but I don't know. To me, I feel like I have more to combat the special enemies in Cold War than I do Black Ops 4. And
well, look at it this way. In a lot of ways, first of all, you have stronger weapons. Weapons in Cold War are significantly stronger than Black Ops 4 weapons in terms of just damage and all that stuff.
Yeah.
The wonder weapons, I think maybe it goes to Black Ops 4 in a way, but they're still, the wonder weapons in Cold War are still really good and they're really usable in the higher rounds. Then you have your perks though. Like you can have, how many perks is it now? Is it 9?
You can have 10 perks.
10 perks. Whilst in Black Ops 4, it was only the 4 and then your modifier. So it's kind of like, I feel like they took some aspects out of the games like specialist weapons, which you still kind of get anyway. You still kind of get your
I mean,
kind of, yeah.
You got like
more of a
score streaks and you got
score streaks, yeah.
See, that's the thing, right? There's so much in the game that you can use to your advantage.
Yeah, exactly. So it kind of helps counter all the boss types in a way. Because if you have a bunch of zombies in the field, you take out a war machine. Done. It's easy. You just fire away, ring of fire, bang, bang, bang. You know.
Yeah, ring of fire is still OP.
Exactly. That's what we like to see.
But yeah, that's what I gotta say about the enemy types. Like I don't mind there being multiple enemies in this map, but you know at the same time I can understand it being a little overwhelming. But as long as you have a crystal axe or like a ray gun or something, you're fine. I think.
Absolutely.
I mean, and then at the end of the day, it also comes down to player skill and how you can maneuver around the zombies and things like that. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah. I know people are already formulating really good camping strategies on this map.
I can see.
Dude, I was talking to Jay Scrine, and on Twitter he was telling me about in the arcade. Remember the part in the Easter egg where you pay for an RCXD and you gotta go all the way? You just sit in that room and keep paying for the RCXD, and you just have all the zombies hoard up right next to that part in the wall, and just keep using the RC car, keep paying for it, keep using the RC car, and you just sit there getting multiple kills with the RCXD.
Does it generate enough points to let you buy it again?
I think it does because there's so many enemies spawning in, right? And they're all gonna chase the RC car because it's kind of like a mobile monkey bomb. So
Yeah.
yeah, they're gonna be doing that, and they're gonna be chasing it, and they're gonna be. It's interesting. It's an interesting strategy. I have yet to try it, but from what he described, it seemed very interesting. And I've seen people
Even
camp in the kitchen in the pizza shop where you can find Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan.
Yes, Ronald Reagan. He's part of the pizza shop
Mm-hmm.
in Forsaken. And for those of you who don't know, you deliver pizzas to different parts of the map, and each pizza you deliver gives you a reward, and there's a chance that you get a ray gun from that. If you don't get a ray gun, you get points, you get armor, you get salvage, and things like that. And that's a fun little side Easter egg. Yeah, it's definitely good. I like the side Easter eggs on this map a lot.
I've seen that there's a lot of side things to do. Even going to the arcade, playing Knacked,
Yes,
which is really cool. Which is a point that like I feel like things like that where you can go off and do something completely different to the map, like going off and playing Knacked or Toten. It's like it adds so much to the map in a way. Like it adds a lot of personality. I think Forsaken for me definitely has, I think, either the most or second most personality out of all the maps we've had so far.
Oh, that's for sure.
All the little gimmicks and things you can do with the map, and like the arcade, pizza shop, just everything with it. There's
you
a
got
lot
Bubby
of
from Burger Town. There's an Easter egg with him too.
I mean, have you heard the new song?
I have not heard the song, but I know you get the song from doing that.
So with it, in a way, it's not actually a song because what's his name? Kevin
Sherwood.
Kevin Sherwood. He's working on Vanguard stuff. So I think he even said online maybe that he couldn't make a really, really good song for this game. So what they did was they remixed a bunch of old Aether sounds, like loading in music and stuff.
Oh.
Like, so you got stuff from, you got Moon, you got Buried, you got a bunch of other maps as well. So there's no singing in it. It's just so good. You listen to it.
I need to listen to that. I didn't know about that.
It's like zombie, I wouldn't say lo-fi. It's not lo-fi at all. What am I talking about? It's really good. If you like the Moon loading in music, like the you're gonna like this because it's like everything in zombies gonna mix into one.
Okay,
and it's just good for not having singing in it. It's really good. It's really good. I've listened to it multiple times. I really enjoy it.
Sounds pretty cool.
I like a good COD zombie Easter egg song.
True.
So
gotta love those Easter egg songs. So that sounds pretty cool. I'll definitely have to check that out. Try that out. Do the Easter egg for it, and then listen to it in the game. And then man, you have just Forsaken. It's got a lot going on for it, man. I really like the spawn room too, where it's kind of a pseudo no man's land where you're there, the zombies keep spawning in, but it's not no man's land because the round actually progresses as you're there. And I really, really like that. And I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like you get extra salvage in that area too. Not just because death perception is in the starting room, but I feel like you just get extra salvage there for some reason. And then it makes for really fun first room challenges, to be totally honest.
Absolutely.
Like it's really
so
cool.
Fast. It's good.
And, again, that's the thing. A lot of
why I love it.
Yeah, it's great. A lot of the times I'll just stay in the spawn room till like 15 to get 40,000 points, open up the map, go pack a punch right away.
And that's you ready.
And that's me ready. It's such a good area of the map. It's also high risk, high reward because as you continue to go on, more zombies spawn in, gets a little bit more difficult. You have abominations spawning in and tempests and plague hounds, and it's cool. It's a cool little challenge area. It's No Man's Land 2. Basically,
it would make a good first room challenge video.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. I agree. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, what could that be hinting towards?
But that's I don't know, man. That's just Forsaken's is really cool, really, really cool.
Yeah, and I think with it as well is with after Mauer, I'm hyped for zombies still, but not as hyped because with Mauer I enjoyed it, but I just didn't get that from it.
Okay.
With Forsaken, I'm not like, oh my god, Origins level, because that's not what it's supposed to be. It's the start of a new story. We'll get to that point again eventually.
Oh, for
whether
sure.
It takes a few years, a year or two, because of the games coming out consistently now, involving with the story. But I have to say, I'm really satisfied with the map. It's not a bad map. It's good. The wonder weapon's fun. We got all these perks in it as well, which is great. A
Yeah.
bunch of side Easter eggs. In theory, it's just a good zombie map. That's all it is. You know, it's a
Yeah,
good
it's
zombie map.
solid. It's a solid map. I mean, I think honestly, I think this could be the best map in the game, just straight up. I
I
know,
think. What
I
order
know
do they
that
go in for you?
it's, I know that's still kind of early and the map's only been out for a few days, but like, I genuinely think as time goes on and people start to play the
People like
map
this map more.
more often, yeah, I think people are gonna really like this map more. So I don't know if I had to rank the maps. That's a tough question. I mean, oh man, I mean, I'd probably have to go Forsaken, Mauer, and then it's up to Firebase Z and D Machina. Like, I really don't know. Shoot, I might have to go Firebase then D Machina. Like, just
Really?
kind of reverse order on how they were released. You know?
Well, which that's a good thing. That's what it should be like. It
Yeah.
should be each map getting better. I can definitely see the points why you'd think that as well with it, and that's what they should be aiming towards. And I tweeted this out yesterday, the day before.
And keep in mind, real quick to interrupt you, just really
Yeah,
quickly, this is for
absolutely.
round based. Round based.
Round based. Yeah.
I assume we're talking about because Outbreak.
Yes,
I
we
feel
are.
like I would probably. I don't know where I would put Outbreak, to be honest, because that's such a different experience. If I
Yeah,
would
it's
even
not.
include that in the ranking at all, I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. I don't know why I'd include. I enjoy Outbreak, but I probably had to go underneath everything else, even for as good as it is.
Mhm.
For me, as much as I can see the points the map's improved, I think I have to go with this order. First of all, it's D Machine. I think that's my
Okay.
favorite map out of the game.
Okay.
Very closely fallen, and I'm only saying this now because we're still in the honeymoon phase and that for it. Is Forsaken. I
Okay.
really enjoy Forsaken for what I've played, but I don't think I played enough to get a really good opinion on it. So it's either going to go up or down. You know,
Right.
it's not going to be last. It's not going to be anything like that at all. It's either going to be the best map for me, stay middle, or go next. So it's D Machine, Forsaken, and then I'm going to put Mauer Toten because
Okay.
I like Mauer Toten. I think it's a good map. I think I definitely played a lot more Firebase Z, but I think
Hmm.
Mauer Toten just in general is a better experience because there's a lot more to do in it. I
Yeah,
think the
definitely.
weapons are a lot more fun, a lot more unique, and all that.
Hmm.
And then I think I have to go with Firebase Z, not because it's a bad map, because I think it is a really good map. I think it
Yeah.
genuinely was probably one of the best maps we've gotten since the time it came out, since like excluding D Machine, probably probably Gorod Crovey in a way. I think it's probably one of the better
Interesting.
maps we've gotten since then. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy Black Ops 4, but a lot of them are remakes, obviously. With Chaos, I didn't play it too much, so I'm not going to put my input on that compared
Mm.
to it. For me personally, when the map came out, it was a good map. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
But in hindsight, after going back to it, it's still good. But Mimics, man, fuck
See, here's the
Mimics.
thing, right? Like
Like I
Black
looking back
Ops
on them,
Black Ops Cold War doesn't really have like an
bad map.
inherently terrible map, you
No,
know?
no,
So
and
like
that's why I say it.
ranking a map at last place doesn't mean it's bad. It's just like there are just
It's still
other
gonna
maps
be
that are also really good in the game, you know?
yeah. It's for me Cold War Zombies as far as maps go. All the maps are in Cold War are better than World at War. Same with Black
Yeah.
Ops 1 for me personally, I think as well. Even though I like All the Dead, I think still
Yeah,
for Black
probably
Ops
have to
1.
go. I'd probably have to agree with you there too.
Yeah. Black Ops 2, the line gets a little bit thin, but I give Cold War to the point because all the maps are consistently good. Whilst Black Ops 2, it's
Yeah.
like shit, good, okay, shit. No, I mean good. Or Origins, shit. No,
Could you
good.
imagine?
Could you imagine? And then even with Black Ops 3, it's like I know we're at disadvantage because we don't have 5 maps in this game, or even 7 compared to Black Ops 3 in this normal DLC cycle. I know Zombie Chronicles
But,
is a thing,
yeah,
obviously.
14 maps.
14 maps, yeah, obviously. But I know we have Outbreak to kind of compare that to. But even when Black Ops 3, we had Shadows and the Giant. The Shadows of Evil at the start was very, very controversial. People didn't really like Shadows,
Right.
if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Yep. I enjoyed it. And I'm not saying, ooh, I enjoyed the map before everyone else. I genuinely enjoyed it. I like the Giant as well. Dries and Draco was good. Zetsubo, people didn't really like. People hated Zetsubo. And that long
Yes.
wait between getting Dries and Draco, then Zetsubo was just like, fuck. And then Gorod Krogi came out, and people kind of liked that. So, and then Revelations again, kind of
Revelation's
bad.
very mixed.
Not bad, not bad at all, but not like good either.
It's very
It's very
mixed in the community when you talk about Revelations. I personally like Revelations. I think it's a good
yeah.
map.
I don't think it's bad, but at
Um,
the same time, when you look at it,
it's not like the
it's
most amazing, bestest map ever. It's a solid map. I really like it.
it's all right for what it is. It
Yeah.
has a bunch of other maps in it. It is what it is. And then with Black Ops 4, you can look at the game, and no matter how good the maps are, people just didn't really gravitate towards how the game felt and all that. Obviously,
Yeah.
so. And then Cold War comes along and it kind of ticks all the boxes. You know, the maps have some complicated parts to them, but not too complicated, so new players don't like them. We have all perks access. We have fun wonder weapons. All the maps are free. It's ticking all the right boxes. The only thing that it doesn't do as well as older games, I guess you could say, is Easter eggs. But even that is like personal preference. More people are
Right.
doing Easter eggs now than ever because we have access to all the maps for free, and the Easter
Yeah,
eggs are a lot
that's the
easier.
thing. Easter eggs, because they're more accessible, more people are doing them, and I think that's a good thing, so that more people can be involved in the zombie storyline. And that's where a lot of people will go, "Oh, well, this is just catered to the newbies, and they don't care about the hardcore fans, right?" I beg to differ. I totally beg to differ because you can
Yeah,
still do high rounds, you can still do Easter egg speed runs, you can still do things like that. Sure, the Easter egg's a little more simple for the new player, but there's still the challenge of figuring out a speed run. There's still the challenge of figuring out a high round attempt, you know,
yeah. That's the
and
thing as well.
that's just what it is. I mean, even though a lot of these high round attempts are just sit in a corner with Ring of Fire, right? You still got to figure out where you're going to sit in a corner with Ring of Fire, kind of like Black Ops
And
4. You still have
the
to
thing,
figure out where you're
yeah.
going to sit in a corner with the
Even
Helion Salvo.
even Black Ops 3, though. A lot of the case was you sitting in a corner with your wonder weapon and specialist weapon.
A lot of, yeah.
Ex-
Like I remember the
except
Revelations.
Goro
Speaking of
Trophy. Yeah,
Revelations,
yeah, with that you got Revelations where you just literally sit in the spawn. Or
oh, you
another one
froze
point on the
again.
other side so it blocks off. Hello?
You froze again.
Bruh, I don't know what's happening. I think it must be per server
I
issues.
don't know what's going on. Continue talking.
So with Revelations, when you were camping, it was the case that you had to go like around and then go to the spawn room part, but
Right.
from the other side. So you come from the
Right.
origin side to the spawn room, but you wouldn't open that door.
Right.
Camping in that map. Gorod Crovey is the only map you really don't camp in, but even that you have the shield and you can camp to like round 50. Then it gets to the point where you kind of have to like trade about and
Right.
use ammo types and stuff. Zet you could camp in forever, really easy to camp in forever. Darius and Draka was pretty easy to camp in even until a certain
Lightning
point. It
bow.
was still easy, lightning bow, yeah, and then you could switch to the wolf bow if you really needed to. Shadows of Evil, not as much, but still. And then the giant, yes, you can camp. That was the fastest high round strat. You camp at Pack a Punch and use your Wonder Waff, and then you use a couple
Yeah.
gums here and there, and then you're still camping. So camping's been a thing. Even Origins, like people would camp in Origins.
Oh yeah, dude.
People
People
say
use the ice
oh,
strat, the ice staff strat for
yeah,
origins, either in the tunnel or over by where the tank is located. Things like
yeah.
that. I mean,
And then
it's
people are
just a
like,
staple.
oh, zombies are so boring. You just have to camp. Remember how you used to trade? Then you look at Buried, and
You look at-
again, camping,
It's
camping as well.
literally the camping map. There's so many places to camp
Die
there.
Rise. That Mob of the Dead, not really. That's the one map where camping really isn't accessible. In the
Yeah.
early game, it is. For getting to high rounds fast, what you want to do is you want to make your way through the gondola, and you know how you can normally go either to Warden's office down them steps.
Yes.
Down the steps, don't open that door, go the long way around, and it's a really fast camping spot until like round 50. But then you have to start training. And then
That's the thing with Mob of the
Rise.
Dead. Mob of the Dead, a lot of people, it's one of the longest round 100s to do, Mob of the Dead, because
Yeah, it is.
you have to hoard up zombies in the cafeteria, use the acid trap, do all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, it's definitely lengthy. But I think where a lot of people, yeah, I don't think they realize 100% that,
how much camping has been in old games.
Yeah, how much camping there's been in old games. It's kind of crazy to think about, to be totally honest. I mean, and again, everything comes down to personal preference too, because you cannot like Cold War and you cannot like how camping works in Cold War. You could say it's too easy compared to like whatever. That's fine, but I just think you still got to acknowledge the fact that other games had OP strats and other games had different things to make you go high on the rounds without you really even, I don't want to say trying, but without you really breaking a sweat.
Even with Black Ops 1, there was camping, even the higher rounds for strats, because it was just the easy thing to do. Our training, there's more room for error and stuff as well in a way. Don't get me wrong, in a lot of ways it's safer, than camping, because if you get stuck in a corner, you know, you might be dead, you know? But
Right.
I feel like people just kind of don't acknowledge the fact that it's been in the game for as long as since Black Ops 1, really. And even with World at War, there you can still camp for a relatively long time in that game. It's more trading focused, don't get me wrong, but that was only because there wasn't wonder weapons and I mean really good wonder weapons.
Yeah, there wasn't like super OP wonder weapons, and the Wonder
Yeah,
Waff
exactly.
in the recent World at War took away Juggernog, so that's cool.
Yeah, so that's cool. That's epic gamer moment that
That's
they never
great.
fixed.
Who needs Juggernog? No jug challenge.
No jug challenge. Oh, another video idea.
But yeah, you know, that's the thing. I think with Forsaken, it kind of coming back and reeling it back to season 6 and Forsaken.
Season 6, yep.
With Forsaken, I think it's such a replayable map because there's a lot to do, and you can, you know, you can hop back on, and because the Easter egg is so easy, you can be like, oh, I want to do the Easter egg melee only. Oh, I want to do the Easter egg no jug. I want to do the Easter egg blah blah blah. And there's so many different ways to play the Easter egg now because it's so easy, I think. And there's so many things to do on the map that, you know, you can truly customize your experience. I mean, like you were saying earlier, the arcade, right? Going into the Drak pinball machine, which, by the way, I think is a really cool concept of the Dragon Relic. You know, you can farm that for extra weapons, for salvage, for whatever, maybe even a free perk, a full power, you know, whatever. That's such a cool thing to do that you can go back and replay. So I think there's so many parts of Forsaken that are super replayable. And kind of touching on the Drak thing a little bit, I wonder why they decided to do the Dragon Relic on the Drak pinball machine as opposed to, like, Nocturne and Toten, do the Drak starting room. I wonder why they decided to do that instead.
Maybe I'm not going to talk about canon and stuff, I guess, because you have the Drak pinball machine, and that's a complete reference to Drak, the zombie map, right? But maybe it's because, in a sense, Nocturne and Toten is already kind of revealed in the story. I guess maybe.
Yeah, I get that.
At the same time,
yeah.
how cool would it have been if you could have went to the Drak
and Black Ops Cold War? Like, that would be. I mean, if you thought it was a crazy YouTube title of all these YouTube videos, including myself, with how to play Nocturne and Toten in Black Ops Cold War, right? Like, if you thought that was crazy, just imagine how fucking ballistic the community would go when they're like Drak Cold War. Like, you know what I'm saying? That would be, I mean, that's crazy. And by the way, I don't know if there's anyone out there watching who makes pinball machines. I want a Drak pinball machine.
Big stonks.
How much money would it cost for me to buy a Drak pinball machine? Let me know in the comments. If you know someone who makes pinball machines, I want one.
Oh my god, that'd be cool. I would like that very much.
Dude, that would make for an awesome fucking just video, even like a how to kind of not how to, what am I trying to say, like a build video, right? Like someone who makes pinball machines, like today I'm gonna build the Drak pinball machine, and then like they go through the process and how to set it up. That'd be such a cool video. That'd be really cool.
I would love that. That'd be cool.
But digressing again, but
pinball machines are exciting,
but Forsaken is even more exciting. And then, of course, with Forsaken in Season 6, you got a lot of new intel. We already talked about that. But there's one piece of intel. I don't think we talked about this last week. No, we definitely didn't talk about this last week. Did you notice there's also some new Outbreak Intel? On Ruka, people realized that there's Outbreak Intel where you pick it up, and it's a chalice, right? And it's a demonic chalice that on the side of it has the indentation for the exact shape of a perk. So,
is that a Vanguard reference?
That's a Vanguard reference for zombies. And people are speculating, hey, the perks are going to be chalices from demonic fountains that you scoop up the liquid from like a blood fountain or something.
Yeah.
And like some ritual sacrifice, and you drink it out of there. That's kind of sick, actually. I mean, that's metal as fuck.
Yeah, that's like Doom, you know? Like, that's not...
Exactly.
That's not a tasty Perk-Cola.
And the fact of the matter is, too, in the intel, it talks about a demonologist that's doing research about it, too.
Even Craig Houston says that we're going from more Nazi experiments from Cold War to Nazi cults.
Yes.
which
And you
is
know
very,
what?
very exciting. That's going to be a very, very
It's
good kind of route to go down, I think, especially
it's gonna be
for prequel.
interesting. I
Absolutely.
want to see keepers come back. If you're talking about rituals, I want to see the keepers in some way. I think that'd be really
Mm.
interesting.
Now, my thing is since it's Treyarch working on it, are they going to go down the route where they're kind of like do what they did with World at War in a sense with their atmosphere building, or do you think they'll try and make it a scary game like they did with World War II?
Here's
Since
the
it's still Sledgehammer, which is again, it's a weird point, right? Because
I don't
Sledgehammer
think they're
were
gonna go
originally,
scary. I
no,
don't think they're
I,
gonna go scary. I think they're gonna
but
go
then again,
dark.
that maybe dark, yeah, because you got to think about it this way as well. Cold War was originally supposed to be Sledgehammer's game. Well,
Right.
that's what every leak in the world says, right? And it turned out to be pretty solid. What if it's again a joint effort sort of thing, where
I mean, it already is a joint effort,
yeah,
but
you're right, yeah.
Sledgehammer is already just working on the campaign and multiplayer and stuff, and Treyarch's working solely on zombies. So I think Treyarch, they're gonna keep their cinematic action feel to zombies. I think, but I think it's gonna be dark. I think Vanguard Zombies is gonna have this dark, creepy atmosphere. Not so much scary, but it's gonna be like this ominous vibe of, yeah, the Nazis are experimenting in the occult, and you walk into this room with these like ritual circles, and it's this creepy atmosphere that's not necessarily scary, because I think at its core,
It's
zombies as
more
a whole is
creepy.
more of like a action kind of a genre,
Yeah,
because of all
because
the crazy shit that happens. So I
yeah,
think,
zombies are the least scary thing in the game mode at this point. It's more
yeah,
the other things that are going on around it. Like it's
right.
like things like if you recall the Dark Shore from World War II, uh, remember that guy getting all joined up into that map,
Not really. I didn't
chained
play
up.
Darkest Shore.
No, well, there's like a whole saw bit kind of where the guy's getting tortured, but like it's the scariest part about zombies in a way again isn't the zombies. It's more about all
Mhm.
the other stuff and awful things that happen that even sometimes it doesn't show you. Like the gruesome, more twisted experiments that go on in the background, but are done by normal people.
Right.
Normal people are doing these. Like the zombies things, there's zombies want to eat your brains. You
Mhm.
can understandable.
Right.
But more just the overall
There's themes. It's the thematic aspect of zombies
yeah.
that makes it either, dark, creepy, scary, whatever it is, right? But yeah, the zombies themselves, it's just like, that's just the enemy you fight. There isn't really like,
They don't really care.
yeah.
They don't really care too much more into it than other than they want to eat you. That's really it.
Well,
Like,
they don't want to, they want to eat you, or they want to kill you because, you got storyline implications here and there, and but all that kind of stuff.
oh
So,
yeah.
I mean, there's a lot more to it than just zombie scary. It's the circumstance might be a little bit scary. The circumstance is more grandiose. It's more of a
Like for example, being trapped in a
larger
prison.
entity. Right,
Trapped
yeah,
in a
like that's the
prison
thing,
when
right? Like the
yeah.
concept of purgatory, right? Mob of the Dead.
Yeah.
The whole theme of purgatory and Mob of the Dead is a more creepy, scary, philosophically ominous theme that carries that map,
Yeah, rather than just zombies, because
rather than
you could
just
make
the zombies.
you can make the map in a way like, oh yeah, we're in Alcatraz, but we just can't escape because we're stuck on an island.
Right.
It's more the fact that it's a cycle, like there's no
Right.
kind of breaking out. Like obviously Easter egg, but there's not really any breaking out of it. Like it's the same thing over and over and over, and the characters understand that they just want to die, but they can't.
Right. And that's where I think that's could be a good direction for this storyline to go for Dark Aether. What kind of dark, twisted, maybe even the demonic kind of themes that we can have in this game. What kind of, dare I say, biblical implications can we have in Black Ops Cold War Zombies? What truly is the Forsaken, or Black Ops Cold War, Vanguard Zombies? What?
Next Call of Duty game.
Who is truly the Forsaken? The Forsaken is a ancient god, right? There is something inherently, I think, demonic about a being like the Forsaken. So honestly, if we're experimenting into the occult and we're experimenting into demonic rituals, Vanguard Zombies could be of biblical proportions of what we're experiencing, what we're going to be learning, and the kind of creatures and the kind of lore building that could be incorporated into this. I mean, I can only just imagine you could have some of these figures in different lores and mythologies tied in to Vanguard. I mean, they tried kind of doing that with the Chaos storyline in Black Ops 4, but more so with Vanguard because you have these dark themes. I mean, you can talk about different demons, and now that a demonologist seems to be a central character for Vanguard, I think this could be a huge opportunity to do some true world building.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a lot to be excited for in the zombie community at the moment. Like Forsaken, Vanguard, just everything and the kind of direction the game mode's going into as well, especially as well. It's just like it's looking like a lot more player friendly. On top of the story, kind of really building now. It's not going to be the case where it's going to be a new storyline, Infinite Warfare 2 zombies. It's all connected, and it's something we shouldn't take for granted, because in a good 10 years, we're going to look back at Cold War and Vanguard, and for people that are still playing zombies in 10 years, and that's kind of scary to think, because then we'll be 30. But that's kind of scary, I think. But we'll look back at Cold War and be like, that was really good. That was a good game. Same with Vanguard as well.
Right. And that's just how it is. That's just how it is with the Call of Duty cycle, right? People look back at the older games and, in a more fond light than they did when they first originally played them. So,
it's one of the things. It's a crazy time. It's a crazy time, and nostalgia is one hell of a drug, especially in the COD community.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
Even people that shit on Infinite Warfare for like a year, then they go back to it, and like 2 months after the game's done, it's like, this game was actually really good. But that's just a thing that happens. It's just a part of it. People put less stress on the game, I feel like, as well, when they go back and play it, because I feel like at the time when the game's out and people are playing it constantly, a lot more of the issues are highlighted.
Right.
For it, and people experience it more because there's obviously a wider player base. But going back to the older ones where people are just playing it for more casually fun, that people aren't grinding Modern Warfare 3 for camos.
I get what you're saying.
All that stuff,
I get what you're saying. That's that's just how it is. I mean,
exactly.
I don't think there's really anything else to say about that. That's just kind of how it is. But then Season 6 also didn't just give us Forsaken. It also gave us the Season 6 Battle Pass. It gave us some new multiplayer maps. The Battle Pass is pretty good, I'd say, this time around. You have 2 new weapons in the Battle Pass. The 410 Ironhide, the lever action shotgun, and you have the Galil coming back. But, of course, like Black Ops 4, it's called the Grav. For some reason. Maybe that's like that. I don't know.
Copyright issues.
But the 410 Ironhide, I was using that the other day. Pretty good. I mean, it really doesn't feel like a shotgun. That thing has so much range. Honestly, I think it should have been a tactical rifle. That thing does not feel like a shotgun at all.
Does it feel like what's it coming from BO4?
What, the Essex?
Yeah.
It feels like a better Essex.
Yeah.
Like, it definitely feels like a better Essex because of the fact that it's lever action. It kind of reminds me of the Essex or the Argus or something like that. But it just has so much range that it trumps those weapons. It just totally. I mean, it's got the most range out of any shotgun in the game. That's for damn sure. I have yet to use the Galil though. I hear the Galil is actually pretty decent.
I've heard that too. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And then also, new melee weapon, the Battle Axe, was added at the start of the season as well. It's okay. Not really the greatest thing. It's not. It's kind of a middle tier.
Is it quite
melee.
Slow?
It's not as slow as you would think. I still think the machete is slower, but it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not great. It's just kind of mid-tier to me as a melee weapon.
Yeah.
And then later on in the life cycle of Cold War in Season 6, we're getting the Hammer and Sickle, which that's an interesting thing to add to the game as a melee.
Oh, yeah.
That's interesting. I mean, it makes sense, right? Because communism, right? And, the Cold War.
Absolutely.
And then what else is there? Well, Mason is a playable operator. It's cool playing as Mason in the game. He's got some really fun voice lines in the game where he's, he references Vorkuta, he references the numbers, and it's just really, really cool, especially when he's playing zombies. He has this one line where he goes, the classic, "My name is Alex Mason, and I will have my revenge." And, it's really cool to see that.
It's cool.
Really cool throwback stuff. And then what else? What else is there? I mean, there's the new multiplayer map, Deprogram, which I haven't had the opportunity to play yet. Have you played it?
But I've heard it's great.
Oh, no, you haven't played it. Okay.
I've not played it, no, but I've heard it's really good.
Yeah, I need to jump into it and play it. Maybe on my next stream I'll play it, or maybe maybe something else. I don't know. Sounds like a video idea. But it's one of those things where it kind of touching on deprogram a little bit. Deprogram is canon in the zombie storyline, and I think that's weird. And the reason why I think that's weird is obviously with Onslaught, you have the dimensional breaches happening all around the world.
Yeah.
And you pick up intel at these dimensional breaches, okay? You can pick up intel on deprogram. So why do I think this is weird? Deprogram takes place inside Adler's mind. Okay? And the fact that deprogram has an outbreak zone, you can pick up intel in Adler's mind means somehow, some way, we're doing some like Assassin's Creed Animus going into like someone's memories or like, what am I trying to think of here? I just lost it. I lost my train of thought. What am I saying? Oh, Kingdom Hearts, right? Kingdom Hearts, Dream Drop Distance. You're going into someone's memories and their dreams, and like the enemies are there for some reason. So like, does the MK Ultra affect someone's memory to the point where you can instill memories of the outbreak zones into somebody so that they remember something? There's some really interesting questions here that need to be asked if we're picking up intel on deprogram, and this is all part of the canon. What is going on with this? I genuinely want to know. Like, Mark Maestas, Kevin Drew, Craig Houston, anybody who's watching this by some chance, in the comment section, let us know. How is this possible? What is going on with deprogram, and how does this fit into the zombie storyline? Because it's obviously canon.
It has to be canon. They've probably thought about it as well going into like, let's throw it in. Like they thought about it.
Yeah.
So there must be like actual storyline implications there in some way, shape, or form.
Has to be.
And we need answers.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's kind of a deep question too, because when you jump into someone's mind, you're playing through their memories and you're playing through their existence. So because you are there in their existence, you are playing throughout their mind. Can you experience someone else's reality, and can you experience someone else's memory if you yourself are there, even though you were never there to begin with? Is that truly an existence that you can say is tangible and real, or is this some sort of alternate timeline or some kind of rift caused by the Dark Aether because time works differently in the Dark Aether? What is going on?
Big brain moment.
Like, what is going on, man? It's crazy. It's honestly crazy stuff. Now, am I thinking too much into this? Maybe, but I don't think I am because you have intel on all the other maps.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just saying. And I'm getting super passionate about this too, because it's like, I like this deep theme of like going into someone's memories and you're like experiencing this reality. Is it real? Is it not real? Are you truly a part of someone's memories if you were never there to begin with, but you go in there and you're experiencing someone else's life? Or is it like Assassin's Creed? Like I said, you go into your past ancestor's life, or you go into someone's life that experienced that as well, and so you're just playing through it. Is the Animus canon? Is Assassin's Creed canon in Black Ops Cold War?
We need answers.
Oh man.
My God.
Anyways, that's a little rant tangent I wanted to go on there because it's weird. I don't know. It's interesting to me. It's really interesting.
Again, it is, and the question needs to be asked as well, because they wouldn't have put it there unless they were thinking,
that's it. I'm doing it. I'm literally going on stream. I don't know, tomorrow or when I normally stream, I'm collecting the intel. I'm reading it on stream. I solemnly swear to read the intel on stream and get to the bottom of what the hell is going on, because I have not collected any of the intel on deprogram yet. I've been having too much fun with Forsaken, and I just need to jump in and do that.
Absolutely.
But speaking of Onslaught, I don't know if you had the opportunity to play this yet either. Onslaught Elite, new Onslaught game mode.
I have not.
Onslaught Elite, every surge, there's an elite enemy. Every single surge is an elite enemy.
Bruh.
And
is it good?
Yeah, it's actually pretty easy too.
Is it?
Yeah, you would think, right? Like, how does Onslaught
right.
work? Well, you have to kill the zombies to power up the orb, and then the orb moves around, right? But because every round is an elite round, just kill the elite. You don't have to kill the zombies. Just kill the elite.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And then just round after round after round after round. I did my first playthrough of Onslaught Elite, and I made that into a video. I got to round 50. And I was like, holy crap, this is actually easier than I thought it would be.
You want to know something as well? That will be great for getting weapon challenges done.
Yes. Also, that's a great point, actually. I didn't think about that.
If you're starting to grind Dark Aether, do that.
Yeah, that's a fantastic point. Yeah, it'll literally take you 10 minutes because all you need to do is kill the elite.
Yeah. That's
a great point.
Wow.
Well, there you go. There's Onslaught Elite. I mean,
that's it.
That's kind of it. I played it on Miami when I did my first attempt there, and it was pretty fun. It was pretty fun going back. I haven't played Miami in a long time, so going back and doing that was really good. Yeah, man, a lot of cool stuff in this season. I'm telling you, this has been a great season so far.
It's gotten into it as well, so I think in the coming weeks, it'll still.
It's only the beginning. We got the Haunting of Verdansk coming soon. That's gonna be good. I can't wait for that. What else do we have coming soon? Oh yeah, they also mentioned, and this is probably the last thing we talk about before we end off the podcast. They mentioned an unprecedented drop or an unprecedented event or something happening in the game that they haven't disclosed that's happening next week. What do we think that's a part of? What do we think it's happening?
Do you think perhaps it's a Vanguard Zombie reveal maybe or something? Because they said
maybe.
But then again, they said it'd be closer to spooky season.
I mean, it's closer to spooky season already. I mean, it's October.
Oh, I mean, I think maybe they meant more towards Halloween, no?
But I mean, the Haunting of Verdansk is already towards Halloween, and I feel like if they're going to release trailers and teasers for Vanguard Zombies, it's going to be done through the Haunting of Verdansk again.
Absolutely,
there's going to be through that week or through that however long the haunting lasts. Depending on how long that lasts will depend on how many teasers we get, or if it's like the Hunt for Adler or the Numbers event where it's like a weekly or a week-long event that you do challenges or something. I don't know, but I feel like if they were going to do Vanguard teasers, it'll be then. So I don't know. Is it something zombies related? Is it just I don't know, to be honest. I'm really interested to see what's going to happen. And maybe you're right. Maybe it is a trailer or something for Vanguard. Who knows?
Who knows? I mean, I guess we'll find out when it happens. Because we're less than a month away from the game coming out. Which is, I think so, are we? When's the game coming out?
November 5th.
5th, yeah. Which is quite scary to think, actually, that we've had our zombie map and then we're getting a new game in a month. So
it's crazy. It's going to be a busy time to be a zombies content creator. It's going to be really busy. Absolutely. I don't mind. I love there being shit to do.
It gives me more work, it's good.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I love grinding out these videos, It's fun making all these videos and tutorials and first playthroughs of this and what I think of this, and it's fun, man. It's good stuff. This is the kind of stuff the community thrives on. You know what I'm saying? This is the kind of stuff that because there's so much to do, there's so many things to make a video about.
Exactly.
And it's great. Season 6 is off to a great start. Season 6 could potentially be the best season in Black Ops Cold War, I think. We'll just have to see how the rest of the season pans out. But I genuinely think this could pretty much be the best season in Cold War because of what we've got and all the things that are happening in this season. So it's great. I think it's a good time to be a Zombies fan specifically, but it's a good time to be a Call of Duty fan too for some of the other things happening like Haunting of Verdansk and all the Warzone changes and whatnot. So yeah, good stuff, man. We talked about a lot on today's episode of the podcast. This was a very productive episode, I think.
Absolutely.
We just rattled on, and we just went through everything Forsaken. We went through most of the things in Season 6, and, of course, there's more to digest in the coming month, so...
Absolutely.
Awesome. Do you have any other closing thoughts before we end off episode 65 of the Division Z podcast?
Just like... Season 6 is good. It is good. It's one of the better seasons in the game, I think. I think with a lot of seasons, it's been a little bit underwhelming. This one hasn't been. I think we've gotten what we've kind of wanted in the zombie map for a finale. Again, obviously, it's not like an Origins Mob of the Dead level, but that's not to be expected since it's a new story for another good few years, I would still say. So maybe after Vanguard or after Modern Warfare 2, we should get them kind of level maps again. But I think overall for Cold War and for what it is, just a great experience. Great experience so far. And I'm excited for Vanguard. That is what coming, closing thoughts. That is closing thoughts.
Awesome. Well, hey, ladies and gentlemen, I have to agree with those closing thoughts. And what do you guys think about all the new stuff we got in Season 6? What do you think about Forsaken and all the craziness? Share your thoughts in the comments. And with that said, thank you all so much for watching episode 65 of the Division Z podcast. Check out all the links down below in the description so you stay up to date with everything Division Z. And with that said, thank you again for watching, and we will see you all next time. Peace.
Bye, everyone.